Hi and welcome to today. I'm Amanda and I'm taking you on my 31 days of essential tools and supplies. My essential tools and supplies may be different from yours, but today we're going to be playing with. So let's get started. Hello and welcome to today. I'm so glad you could join me. I'm really excited today about what I'm going to be talking about, and it's we're going to be looking at books that you can get in terms of mixed media and art, and all the different types of books you can get. So this is one of the things, this is a go-to for me if I'm feeling stuck or not feeling like creating and need some inspiration, and just for general, going to books is a really great resource. The books that you can find are a really great resource. Now you can, obviously, if you want to get them on Kindle, you can, but I find having the books that you can hold in your hand, and especially art books, is so much better. You get so much from them. But Kindles, you know, I love Kindle as well, and I've got, if you look on my site, you'll see a review of my Kindle. It was just like, to know that you can get so many titles and be carrying that around with you is just like fantastic. But I'm not going to digress. Today we're looking at books. So I wanted to just, this is not even a fraction, but I just chose these to kind of give a broad kind of look of the type of books you can get and why you might want to go for them. So the first one that we've got in front of us is called Painted Paper, and it's by Alyssa Golden, and it's really about creating on paper and different types of techniques that you can use for making handmade books and for making cards. And it goes through all the different supplies that you can use, and is a really good resource. As I said, you know, it looks at paints and paste, making your own recipe, doing collage and things like that. So this is one, you know, this is one that if you want to get some ideas for, you know, drawing on paper or painting on paper rather, this is a great one to have a look at, and I will try and leave a link in the description so that you can see. And there are different types of books in here. It's not a bookmaking book, but the books that she uses, I mean, she's a bookmaker anyway, and she's got another book on handmade books. But this is the techniques and projects, as I said, but she does go through techniques on bookmaking tools and bookmaking projects, and that's at the end. But in the beginning, she shows you all the different techniques of painting the paper. So that was one I thought I'd show you. And so again, if you're feeling kind of stuck and need some inspiration, you can dive into the book and get some ideas. You might not do it straight away, but it's something that you can have a look at. So the second one that we've got here is very well worn. Now I love fabric, and this is a fabric art collage book. So if you've done collage, I think it also got spilt on. So if you've maybe considered collage, and collage as well is another great kind of giving you some inspiration and kind of kickstarting your creativity. But this looks at, let me just show you some of the imagery. This looks at, so pretty. This looks at different projects that you can do with fabric. And again, I will be doing a full review of these books later down during the year. But like Tyvek, it's got that material that you can use. It's usually you get envelopes made from that. Embossing powder on batting, fused angelina, etched velvet. So it looks at hot tools and cold tools, beading, felting, embellishments. And again, these are all different little projects that you can try, because they have, let me just double check. She's got a list of projects that you can try, projects at the back. So the canvas one, a quilting one, and these are all ones that if you've got a sewing machine, that's fine. If you don't have a sewing machine, you know, that's also fine. There are things that you can do by hand stitching. So again, this is a great way for you to try different materials, or some of the materials that you might have, and kind of kickstart your creativity. So this is another one, freeform scrap fabric. So if you've got any scrap fabric laying around, you can try and create a collage. You can use some stitching, or you can just glue it. You can get some of your acrylic paints and paint on them. So again, it's a great, you know, a great resource, because you're using different techniques to create a particular piece. And that then is also, you know, if you've just got a short amount of time, putting together a quick collage made from fabric is something that, you know, you can do at any time. So that's, again, a really, I think it's a really good idea. And it really does keep the creativity going. And that's one thing I'd like to do. I'd like to, for the longest, I've wanted to do a collage, a fabric collage series. You know, just see where that takes me, just, you know, utilizing the sewing machine or hand stitching. So that's that one. This one, see, the two that I've just shown you is, I would have said it's for beginners. I mean, this one is creating mixed media jewelry with metal, clay, wire, resin and more. And the reason why I brought this was I'm into beads and jewelry, and it's another thing that I would like to do. So there's so many things that I'd like to do. So again, this book is split into 4 parts, and it shows you the basic, looking at the different materials that you can use. And the other thing is that they, this particular book is by Cynthia Thornton, and she kind of does like, it's like a diary and a little story, and then there's a particular piece of jewelry that's created beside that. So like you've got, it's dated May the 16th. Let me just read a bit. I expected a more traditional method of communication, not the red squirrel pecking at my window with a piece of paper sticking out of an acorn. The squirrel looked at me as if to make sure I saw, and then leaped to a tree branch. I stood there in disbelief. I grabbed the acorn, and a piece of accordion folded parchment paper slipped out. See you at 3. ... Tom, your escort, it said. So there's some lovely stories weaved in, and then there's a project that you can do afterwards. So I really liked the book because of that. She goes through so many different things, carving tools, clay, jewelry, stamping, findings. And then at the back, as with most of them, there are projects that you can, there's projects that you can do. But even, I mean, there's projects dotted throughout this book, and that's really great. And so you can find something that you're more interested in, and then create it. So when you look at some of the projects and some of the images for the stories, some of the decoration is kind of transferred onto the piece of jewelry that you would be making. And it's just so pretty. There's just so many pretty types of jewelry that's made. And obviously, you know, you can mix and match, or you can, you know, use your own. You might not necessarily have the jewelry in here, but that's something that you can do. You can use your own jewelry, and you can create a story around that piece and what it means to you, or make just something up out of the blue. So this is a lovely book that enables you to, there's a mosquito in here, enables you to create on different levels, on a creative writing level and on the jewelry making level. So that's that one, and it's got some resources depending on where you are in the world. It's got some resources that you can look up at the back. It's just amazing. It's got some inspirational jewelry that's made by other people, necklaces, bracelets. It's so pretty. And then the other thing with this one is that there is a troubleshooting section. So if you've had some issues with some of the material, it gives you some remedies that you can possibly try out. So that's that one. And the last one I was just going to look at, it's paper. The reason why I chose this one is it's got, as it says, hundreds of stunning practical projects in collage, decoupage, paper mache, paper making and paper crafts. So this is a book that I find really useful if you want to, I'm just trying to kill the mosquito, if you want to try different projects. So if you're new to, say, paper mache or paper making or collage, then this is one chock-a-block with different projects. And so, you know, you will not be bored, you will not want for a project that you can try. And they come in varying degrees in terms of difficulty. So again, it's something that, you know, you can not necessarily. Oh look, this screen here, this is really pretty. I've always wanted to make a screen. Anyway, so it's various projects utilizing paper, decoupage, and you can, you know, apply some of your skills in terms of painting, and, you know, you might not necessarily want to make something big, it could be a small thing. So, you know, you can, like this particular thing, it's a chest. It's not a big chest actually, it's a small one. It says Old Master's Box. So you can get some small things and sort of like do a little project on it, sand it down, or you can buy them already just made, and then you can just paint over it. So you can, you know, get you can get the box itself and then do a similar sort of project utilizing this, utilizing these ideas, stamping on them or transferring an image on it or painting it. So again, these books allow you to be creative, explore your creativity. They usually come with templates that you can use. And so I like these because if you want to learn a new skill, these enable you to learn very quickly how to do something. And then you can take what you've learned and take it even further. So there you go. So that's one of the tips for today. You know, find some books. You can, you know, go to your local store, bookstore or art store or arts and crafts store. You can usually get them on discounts, or go to your thrift store, or I was going to say dollar store, but one of those stores that, you know, they anyway, go to a store where you would buy books where you can buy books that you know that you can, and look at some of the titles. I mean, we have a bookstore that they do. Did I get this one there? They do books at a reduced price, and sometimes you will get books that you wouldn't necessarily normally find. Like, they do a whole load of different books, and craft supplies and materials, and it's usually, like, you know, heavily discounted. The mine in England is called The Works, and you can find books like this. They're usually imported from the States, and some of them are really great, and I will be doing some more book reviews and telling you about them. But you can pick up books at a discount, basically, and utilize them as a means of being able to kickstart your creativity and get you back on track, and learning a new skill, because it's great to be able to utilize and transfer some of the techniques that you learn in one kind of, you know, discipline and move it over to the next. And that's why all of these, you know, you can intermix them. Even with the fabric, you can be using beading, and jewelry and paper can be combined, and then you've got all the different techniques that you can create different things. So I hope you found that. That's rain, by the way. It sounds like it's been raining all day today. So thanks for watching, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. So take care for now. Bye.